Mega Man's mini-bosses are one of the best parts of the game, but somehow they get even less recognition than the castle bosses, or I guess you could say they get a mini amount of recognition in comparison. Anyway, that's why today we're going over the best mini-boss from every Mega Man game, 1 through 11, and yes, the mic is still in frame, I am still sick, you know the drill. Mega Man 1, the first Mega Man game ever made, doesn't have any official mini-bosses according to the Mega Man Wiki, but my authority is higher than the Mega Man Wiki. And I hate to pull ranks, but I can think of at least 4 mini-bosses from this game. The One Eyes. Well, okay, technically there is only one mini-boss, but it does make 4 appearances in every stage other than Bomb Man and Fireman stage. It also makes several appearances in Wily 1, but despite my addiction to gambling, I don't like any of these one-eyed freaks. Meaning we only have 4 candidates for the best mini-boss from Mega Man 1. Iceman's Big Eye, Cutman's Big Eye, Gutsman's Big Eye, and Elecman's Big Eye. And I'll go ahead and tell you, it's not Elecman's Big Eye. This guy sucks. Anyone who's ever played this level knows how frustrating this dude is. Even with Magnet Beam strats, it's not always easy to escape his wrath. I guess I could respect him for the hustle, but I just don't. Cutman's Big Eye is pretty medium if I had to say, and is probably the hardest part of that entire stage. He feels like the gatekeeper of Cutman's boss fights, which gets him some points, but I'm still not his biggest fan. Gutsman's Big Eye is almost exactly the same, but maybe even a little bit better. Either one of those guys could be the best, but I think the real best mini-boss is actually Iceman's Big Eye. It's hard to explain, but this one seems the most appropriate for the stage, both in terms of difficulty and for being a guardian for the Iceman boss fight. Even if this mini-boss is harder than Iceman's boss battle itself, I still think it deserves the award for the best mini-boss from Mega Man 1. I mean, at the very least, it is the coolest mini-boss. Mega Man 2, the second Mega Man game ever made, also has no mini-bosses according to the Mega Man Wiki, but I hope I don't have to pull rank again to make you guys listen to me. There are actually several mini-bosses in Mega Man 2, and most of them are in Woodman stage, being these blue tiger things. They shoot fire at you in a weird upward swinging patterns, and you literally cannot leave the room without beating them, so I'd say that counts as a mini-boss even more than the Big Eyes. Some people also consider the Sniper Joes riding those big tall machines to be mini-bosses, but that I do not agree with. That one room in Flashman stage has so many of them, and there's just no way a Mega Man room would have that many mini-bosses in it. The other mini-boss are these big ugly fish from Bubble Man stage. There are 2 of them, and I like both of them a good bit, but unlike those blue tigers, I'm pretty sure you can damage boost past these guys and continue on with the level, so their mini-boss status is a little bit weaker than the blue tigers. But which of these 3 tigers is the best mini-boss? I mean, they're almost all exactly the same. The only difference is the level design and placement of the tigers. But you know what? These guys get annoying after the first one, so the first one is the best. It's as simple as that. The first blue tiger thing is the best mini-boss from Mega Man 2. Mega Man 3 actually has the best selection of mini-bosses so far. Not only do we have Garfield, the giant snakes, Proto Man himself, but we also have these giant flying Mets, meaning it's going to be hard to pick the best. I will say, I don't want to choose Proto Man as the best just because he feels like more than a mini-boss. I mean, he's literally Mega Man's brother, so I don't want to disrespect him by calling him a mini-boss, even though I just did, but guys, don't tell him I said that. The giant snake, on the other hand, is super cool and would be the best mini-boss in Mega Man 2 and obviously Mega Man 1, but the competition here in Mega Man 3 is just too fierce. Even though I do love these guys, plus you can glitch and slide past them somehow, I would tell you how to do it, but I forgot. Garfield, on the other hand, is just great. I love Garfield, I mean, who doesn't? But can Garfield really compete with the giant flying Met? Honestly, I don't know. It's almost a tie. I love fighting the Garfield mini-boss, and when I was a kid and died to this thing, I'd yell out, "Garfield!" in agony, just like John. Whereas with the giant Mets, I'd be slightly upset if I died to them, and that was about it. But the giant Mets do have something that Garfield does not, a secret appearance in Needleman stage. That's right, these things appear in the Doc Robot form of Needleman stage, but in Needleman's regular stage, you can see them put away in storage if you have a keen eye. I'm not sure why, but I really love that detail, and that detail specifically is why I think these guys are the best mini-boss for Mega Man 3. Not because they're Mets or anything, thing. It's not like I'm biased towards Mets. Plus, even if I was biased towards Mets, I'm way more biased towards Garfield, so you've earned this giant flying Met. You're the best mini-boss from Mega Man 3. Mega Man 4 is a fan favorite game as far as my subscribers are concerned, but its mini-bosses are actually a very slight downgrade from what we had in Mega Man P. I mean 3. Don't get me wrong, I love all these mini-bosses just fine, but the ones in Mega Man 3 are just so good. First of all, we have literal Moby Dick, the whale. This guy is awesome, and if you have Brightman's weapon, you can really show off how great you are at Mega Man. If you know, you know. You should have watched my Mega Man 4 Let's Play. There's also S-Car Go from Kirby Right Back At Ya, and I appreciate him making an appearance all the way down in Mega Man 4. I mean, I'm sure that was a long drive, so we gotta appreciate that at the very least. The only problem is, I hate the terrain on these mini-bosses. The disgusting, smelly sewer water really makes this mini-boss a pain in the neck. The next two mini-bosses are both in Ringman stage, which in my opinion is a little bit overkill, but don't tell Ringman I said that. I want to stay on his good side. Anyway, we have Whopper, named after the iconic Burger King meal, and despite having no resemblance, this mini-boss makes a lot of sense for this stage. I mean, it's a bunch of rings with eyeballs somehow holding them together. It's a fun mini-boss, but a little bit frustrating, I guess. The other mini-boss in Ringman stage is just a hippo, which is weird to say the least. I love this guy, don't get me wrong, and I even like hippos in real life just because of how fun it is to say hippopotamus, but why is he in this stage? He could have been in pretty much any stage and fit just as well, but he's in a stage that already has a mini-boss? What the heck, hippo? Anyway, the real best mini-boss is actually Moby Dick the whale. I mean, it's literally Moby Dick, that's his name, like, what a reference. Plus, his fight is the least frustrating and most enjoyable to do, so congratulations, Mr. Dick. Can I call you Moby? You're the best mini-boss from Mega Man 4. Mega Man 5, according to the Mega Man Wiki, only has one Mega Man boss, but I disagree. And don't make me pull rank again. The Mega Man Wiki doesn't count these weird lanky robots, nor these big strong football player looking dudes as mini-bosses, but I do. And these big football robots, I don't like. They're very annoying, take a lot of bullets, and I really wish they would leave me alone. The big lanky robots also get on my nerves. I like their designs, but their hitboxes can be pretty hard to hit, and they do more damage than you would expect them to do, so you could end up in some very precarious situations if you aren't careful. The best mini-boss, however, is the one everyone can recognize as a mini-boss, so hopefully there's no controversy here. This mini-boss is of course Mr. Octopus from Waveman stage. His design is great, his color palette is great, fighting this thing while riding on that weird water bike is fun. The way the screen goes dark when he shows up, awesome. Plus, if you do the glitch, you can even use your charge shot and cheese this guy, so he has no real flaws. So yeah, congratulations, Mr. Octopus. You are the best mini-boss from Mega Man 5. Mega Man 6 has a pretty obvious mini-boss that you guys will probably assume is gonna win, but first I just want to point out how weird it is that Mega Man 6 was never released on the Wii Shop channel. If you guys haven't noticed, I've been doing this thing called Wii Wednesday, and I've been setting up some of the Wiis I fixed in one of those videos to sell to you guys over on Whatnots, and while I was using my Wii Shop points, legitimately purchasing channels like Mega Man 9 and 10, I noticed there was no Mega Man 6. What the heck, Nintendo? You know what? I'm gonna make a Mega Man 5 ROM hack one day that's literally just Mega Man 6 and find a way to port it to the Wii to make up for your incompetence. But anyway, the first mini-boss I want to talk about is the Gorilla Tank from Plant Man stage. Sure, Flame Man's weapon makes this guy a joke, but I think he's a cool boss and is much more intimidating than the quote-unquote tank Wily boss that copied this thing. And that tank somehow got the title of Wily Boss. I mean, come on guys, there's clearly some corruption going on around here. The mini-boss you guys probably expect me to put as the best though is the Metal Gumball Machine in Tomahawk Man stage. Now this thing is certainly amazing and is one of my favorite mini bosses of all time. I mean, it has meds, it has a gumball machine. Those are my two favorite things. But I've gotta say, there's a secret mini boss that's even cooler than this one, being the ninja riding the frog. Now maybe it's because I'm a big Naruto fan, but every time I see a ninja riding a frog, I think it's the coolest thing ever, and this is no exception. I guess technically this guy is probably a samurai, and yes, technically in Naruto the ninjas ride toads, but I don't care. This guy is cool. I honestly regret not putting him in my top 10 best frogs video, but what's done has been done, and I can't make the same mistake again, so congratulations, Samurai Riding a Frog. You are the best mini-boss from Mega Man 6. With the NES games taken care of, we're about to have a much larger selection of mini-bosses to go over, which is ironically the opposite of a mini selection. That's funny. You guys think that's funny, right? Mega Man 7 once again features Proto Man as a mini-boss, but I don't want to insult the guy, so he still doesn't count. You're too cool to be a mini-boss, Proto Man. You're literally my brother. Other than him, though, there's actually a lot of mini-bosses in Mega Man 7, which should come as no surprise if you're an avid Super Nintendo user. In the intro stage, there's this heavy metal band player with a rolling tray as a boss, and this guy is probably the second best mini-boss in the game, so we're already off to a strong start. If he wasn't so easy, he might be number 1, which is a statement you guys will surely quote me on and send to the presses once I tell you guys what number 1 actually is, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Burst Man stage has this crab mini boss, but he's honestly nothing special. I don't hate the guy or anything. I'm not gonna make any crab crap jokes, but he's alright. Let's just say if I ever do a most medium mini-boss video, this guy might be first seed. Turbo Man stage actually has 2 mini-bosses with Truck Joe and the CC Truck. Now, I don't like the CC Truck one bit. That look on his face freaks me out. But Truck Joe is actually pretty cool. He can be a bit tricky to deal with, but I like Sniper Joe's enough to give him a pass. Now, he's not getting a pass to being number 1 mini-boss or anything, but he's still cool with me. He's invited over to my birthday parties, for example. Slash Man stage also has a literal dinosaur, but he's far too underwhelming to be number 1. He's not bad though, maybe second seed for the most medium mini boss video. Shade Man stage on the other hand has a nice Halloween themed boss with this pumpkin thing, which I like a lot. Not only is the design cool, but depending on where you kill it, you get a different path in the stage, which is one of the coolest things ever. Or maybe it's how you kill it? I honestly don't remember, but depending on how you kill this guy, you get a different path in the stage, which is awesome, but not awesome enough to be the number 1 mini boss. That honor would have to go to the dark horse of this game, being the polar bears. I know I said that one boss was too easy, so he couldn't be number 1, and these guys sure are not a challenge, but guys, I like polar bears, and these guys are cool. Am I biased? Yeah, probably, but I just love the design of these guys, and it's painful to have to kill them whenever I play Mega Man 7. I know I'll get a lot of hate for this, but I can't betray my polar bear friends. Congratulations, Mr. Polar Bear, you're the best mini-boss from Mega Man 7. Mega Man 8 only has stupid mini-bosses that I hate, so we're gonna have to go dumpster diving to find out which one of these is the best. First of all, it can't be this weird gear thing from Sword Man stage. It freaks me out too much, I'm sorry. It also can't be this weird machine from Tengu Man stage just because I hate fighting it. It takes way too long, and if you die, you have to do the entire auto-scroller all over again, and as a speedrunner, I resent that. Plus, I want to spend as little time playing Mega Man 8 as possible, and this boss makes that hard. Okay, that was a joke, I'm sorry. The CC roll is too stupid and too easy to be a good mini-boss, plus, much like the CC truck, I hate his ugly face. Stop looking at me like that, you freak! The fish thing from Aquaman stage isn't all that bad, I suppose, and I honestly kinda like it a little bit, but it's pretty basic and gets most of its enjoyment from the environment and not the boss itself, which I guess counts as the mini-boss still, but I can't give this guy number 1 in good faith, meaning the best mini-boss from Mega Man 8 is surprisingly the Rune, or however you say that. You know, the eyeball from Grenade Man stage. Sure, he's ugly and creepy, but I like his design and fight way more than any of the other mini-bosses from this game. Every other mini-boss is almost not even fun to deal with, while this guy is. I don't know how to put it more blatantly than that, so congratulations, Rune. You're the best mini-boss from Mega Man 8! Oh yeah, you already know what time it is. It's Rockman and Forte time. First of all, the CC roll is never going to be the best because it has Mega Man 8 stench all over it. Get out of here, CC roll, you stink! The weird thing from Dynamo Man stage also is not going to be the best because, well, I don't like it. I don't know how else to put it, guys. This thing is just annoying. There's a similar boss in Astro Man stage that's like a Simon Says type of deal, and this one isn't so bad since I like Simon Says. And if you have Ice Wall, you can even skip this thing. If you're good at Rockman and Forte, that is. The giant snowman from Cold Man stage is also a pretty cool mini-boss, and he even inspired Avalanche Yeti from Mega Man X8, so that should count for something, right? I'd say this snowman is probably the second best mini-boss in the game, but the best boss, however, is the giant caterpillar. Now, I know most of you probably don't agree, and I understand that, but I like this guy a lot for a bunch of reasons. First of all, his design is cool, and it's a fun fight, but as a kid when I played this game, it reminded me of the worm boss from Metroid Prime 2, and since I like Metroid, that makes this guy even cooler. He also reminds me of the Mega Man X3 mini-boss in Tunnel Rhino stage, so this guy just has a lot going for him, which is why he is officially the best mini-boss from Rockman and Forte. Mega Man 9 has 4 mini-bosses, and one of them is obviously the best. There's a pretty flower boss, which is cool I guess, a weird boulder guy who's alright, but a big bonehead, and a few elephant dudes who are cool for the most part, but one of these bosses is obviously way cooler, being the Fire Dragon. I mean, come on. It's a fire dragon made out of the Fire and Fireman stage from Mega Man 1. If this guy doesn't deserve to be the best mini-boss, then I don't know who does. So congratulations, Fire Dragon, you are the best mini-boss from Mega Man 9. Mega Man 10 is a similar situation to Mega Man 9 because there's one obvious winner here, but the other mini-bosses are at least closer competitors. First of all, we have this head with floating hands and a soccer ball. I think he's called the goalkeeper, but he should set his goals to being a better mini-boss because he's not the best. He is cool though, don't get me wrong. I actually do enjoy fighting this guy. He was probably the most memorable part of the Mega Man 10 demo when it came out, which you guys might not have played, but I enjoy. Octobulb is also pretty cool. He's obviously not the best and he's pretty goofy looking, but I like the whole treadmill concept, so he gets some bonus points for that. The twin Firebirds are also extremely cool, which is ironic since they're fire. The only thing that's annoying about these guys is that they're sometimes hard to hit when they're so high in the air, but like, they are birds, so I guess that's to be expected. The obvious best mini-boss from this game though is the Tri-Castle. I mean, look at this guy. It's a literal castle. Heck, this guy should have qualified for my best castle bosses video just off of a technicality. But either way, here we are in the mini-boss video, and this guy is one of the greatest of all times. So congratulations, Tri-Castle, you are the best mini-boss from Mega Man 10. Mega Man 11 has a good bit of mini-bosses, so I'll try to speed run this section. First of all, Sparky is not the best. Yes, he reminds me of Alfred Chicken, but that is the only good part about this guy. There's a reason he didn't make it into my top 10 chickens in gaming video. This totem pole thing in Blockman stage is very basic, but it's not a bad design or anything. I guess it kinda looks cool, but there's no way this is anyone's favorite mini-boss, right? Right, guys? I hope I didn't upset anybody. The Thrill Twins are pretty cool, and I'd probably enjoy hanging out with them, but their boss fight is ironically not very thrilling. In fact, it's a bit too easy for my taste. Acid Man's mini-boss is cool. It's just a robot doing its job trying to clean the water, acid, but it doesn't seem to be doing a consistent job judging by all the different colors of acid in the stage, so just for that, it can't be the best mini-boss. I mean, it can't even do its job right. This electric mini-boss looks cool, but that's about it. It's not a super fun boss fight, but I guess it's not boring either, so remember this for the most medium mini-boss video, if that comes out. I'm not saying it will. I do like its dreads though, those are cool. This mammoth skeleton has one of my favorite mini-boss designs, but the fight leaves a lot to be desired, unfortunately. If this had a better fight, it had a solid chance of being the best just because of how cool it is. But you've missed your opportunity, Mr. Mammoth. Frog Balloon, on the other hand, I love. I mean, I like frogs, what can I say? But since it didn't make an appearance in my best frogs in gaming video, you can probably already guess it's not the best mini-boss from this game. And you would be guessing right. Unsurprising to anyone, the real best mini-boss from this game is of course the Pickle Man Digger. I mean, it is a Pickle Man, which I do like, and it uses the third dimension in its attack moveset, which is pretty cool and unique for classic Mega Man. So yeah, this guy is obviously the best mini-boss on all fronts. Congratulations, Pickle Man Digger, you are the best mini-boss from Mega Man 11. Those were the best mini-bosses from every Mega Man game 1 through 11. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed this mini video. I'll probably end up doing a video on the worst mini-bosses if I'm still sick and I'm still working on Wiimotes and stuff, but I will say, I do have some more cool and more high work effort Mega Man videos coming soon, so stay tuned for those by subscribing. Unless, of course, you want to miss them like a big dumb bozo, in which case,